Hi there, and welcome to another video on learning Photoshop. Now this video is about a new feature in the recently launched Adobe Camera Raw 9.4, and it's all about creating fantastic panoramas. And it's super simple in Camera Raw, but it just got better. Let me show you. So let me select these 4 images here. I'm going to press shift and click the last image that I want. So I'm setting up all these 4, and now I want to take them into Camera Raw. Now I can do that by going to File and opening Camera Raw, or simpler I can just click this little doohickey here which says Opening Camera Raw. And then I'm going to select all the images again. So I'm going to hold the shift key down and click on the bottom one. So I'm selecting all those images, and then I'm going to go to the little fly out menu and I'm going to select Merge to Panorama. Now as you can see, it's not great. We've got some holes. It's an irregular edge all the way around the outside because of the way that it's deformed and transformed to make those images fit together. Now we could use auto crop. So if I switch that on, you see that it actually crops the image for us, so we lose some of his image, which isn't ideal. The other way is to finish this off, take it into Photoshop and use Content Aware Fill to try and fill in these areas, and that will work. But it's time consuming. But now we have this fantastic new tool called Boundary Warp, and it's here in the Panorama dialog. And boy, have you got to see this. The new Boundary Warp feature within the Panorama dialog box analyses the boundary of your panorama, and it warps the image so that in the end it's rectangular and doesn't require cropping. So let's see that in action. It's just a slider, so I'm going to pull the slider over, and as you can see, it fills up that rectangular border. That is absolutely amazing. Now another great thing is if I click on Merge now, and we'll say save it, it actually saves that now, but it saves it as a DNG. So we're still in non-destructive territory. So now I can still process this as a RAW or a DNG file. So I'll lift the shadows a little bit, I'll pull the highlights down to give the sky a little bit of drama, maybe a little bit of clarity and a little bit of vibrance. Absolutely fantastic because it's still a DNG file. Now how cool is that? Now in most cases this will give you fantastic results. However, it may not work well on images with a lot of straight lines or architectural features right near the edge, because the process of warping the image to fit the edge, it might bend the lines a bit, and it's really not possible to have your cake and eat it. It's not possible to stretch the image to fit the canvas and preserve all the lines to be straight. In other words, something's got to give. Let me show you that. I'll just cancel out of this one and we'll scoot down here to these 5 images here. So I'm going to select them all again, and then I'm going to open them in Camera Raw. I'll select them all, shift and click on the last one, and then I'll go Merge to Panorama. And here we've got again the same thing. We've got a load of space around the outside. Again, you see if I auto crop this, I actually lose part of the top of the building, which isn't good. So I'm going to use Boundary Warp. I'm going to pull it right over until it all fits. That's absolutely magnificent. But if you look closely, you'll see that at the edges here I've got a little bit of a bend going on, and I've got a little bit of a bend going on the building here, which wasn't there before. So how can we fix this? Well, I'll do the merge, and here we are again, still in Camera Raw, so I can still process this image. But what I'm going to do is take it into Photoshop now, but I'm going to keep non-destructive by using it as a smart object. So I'm going to hold the shift key down, and you'll see the button down here changes to Open Object. If I click on that, it'll now open that in Photoshop, but this time as a smart object. You can tell it's a smart object because of this little doohickey in the corner here, and that means I've still got a connection with Camera Raw. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, let's have a go at Liquefy. So I'm in the Liquefy dialog. I'll just make my brush a little bit bigger. One thing I always like to have on if I'm working near the edge is pin edges. This will stop it bringing the edge in. And so long as I've got some, not a lot of detail in the edge, it'll work fine. And I'm just going to click and just see if I can just drag that in just to straighten it up. Something like that. And then at this side, I'll just pull that side in just a little bit just to straighten it all up. There we go. I'm going to click OK. And now we've got Liquefy applied as a smart filter with its own little mask. So I can turn that on and off. So you can see what we've done. And also, if I want to, I can go back to Camera Raw. So if I now double click, this is not a pixel based layer anymore. It takes me straight back to Camera Raw. So I can keep on processing this image now in non-destructive as a Camera Raw image. Let's pull the highlights down, lift the shadows a little, all that good stuff. Well, that's it. I hope you found that useful. The new boundary warp feature in the merge to panorama dialog in Camera Raw 9.4. If you found it useful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos on Photoshop and on Lightroom, and I'll see you in the very next video. Bye for now.